So good morning everyone. Today I am going to discuss the band structure of solid. That means and also doping of the solid structure. Band structure means conductor, semiconductor, insulator, intrinsic semiconductor, extrinsic semiconductor. So first of all, energy band. The outermost atomic orbital containing valence electron of large number of atoms in solid superimposed together to form large number of molecular orbitals bonding and antibonding. These energy gap between these bonding antibonding MOs are so small that they appear like a band. The bonding MOs together form valence band while antibonding MOs form conduction band. The energy of conduction band is higher than valence band. Again I tell you, the outermost atomic orbital containing valence electron of large number of atoms in solid superimposed together to form large number of molecular orbitals like bonding antibonding. The energy gap between these bonding and antibonding MOs are so small that they appear like a band. The bonding MOs together form valence band while antibonding MOs form conduction band. The energy of conduction band is higher than of valence band. So you see the energy of the valence band, and this is the energy of conduction band, that is antibonding. This is called band bonding. Okay. Now conductor. A conductor is a substance in which the valence band overlaps with conduction band. Due to large number of electrons in conduction band, the metals are good conductor. Okay, you see conduction band overlaps with valence band. Okay, so that's why metals are acts as a good conductor. Now come to insulator and semiconductor. In insulator, the energy gap between field's valence band and conduction band is large. So this is the conduction band, this is the valence band, field valence band. So this is the large energy gap. So band gap is large. That's why it acts as an insulator. Okay. So insulator, the energy gap between field valence band and conduction band is large, while in semiconductor the energy gap is moderate. Now on increasing temperature of semiconductor, the electron jumps from valence band to conduction band. Increasing temperature. This semiconductor shows increasing conductance with insulator, so no change in conduction on heating. So semiconductor means there is a small band gap or substance whose conductivity lie between conductor and insulator. So semiconductor whose conductivity lies in between insulator and conductor, or there is a very small energy band gap. Okay, so that the electron can jump from valence band to conduction band. Okay, so this is the energy band. I told you what is the conduction band, what is the valence band. So what is the conductor? I have already told you, valence band, conduction bands overlap each other, and this is the insulator, energy gap is high. This is the semiconductor, energy gap very small, and also whose conductivity lie between insulator and conductor. And you know semiconductor is again, so this is the energy band. You see conduction band, valence band, large number of atomic orbitals of same energy, so we get conduction band and valence band. Okay. Now difference between conductor, insulator, semiconductors, and also substance conductor, range of conductivity 10 to the power 4 to 10 to the 7, effect of temperature, conductance decreases. Insulator 10 to the power 22 minus 22 to 10 to the power minus 10, no effect. Semiconductor 10 to the power minus 6 to 10 to the power minus 4, conductance increases. So this is the difference with respect to conductivity. So difference between conductors, insulators and semiconductor with respect to conductivity of conductor, insulator, semiconductor. So semiconductors, range of conductivity and effect of temperature, conductance increases. As I told you in the previous slide, so this is the very small energy gap. semiconductor, valence band, conductor valence. So electron from easily jump from valence band to conduction band, but in case here insulator, due to large energy gap, this electron cannot jump easily to conduction bands. Okay, now come to semiconductor. As I told you, semiconductor is kind of two types. One is intrinsic semiconductor, another is extrinsic semiconductor. So intrinsic semiconductor which is obtained by heating. So semiconductor which is obtained by heating is called intrinsic semiconductor. Okay. Pure crystal of silicon and germanium. The example, and it exists at 0 Kelvin. Pure crystal of silicon and germanium acts as an intrinsic semiconductor. So semiconductor is kind of two types. One is intrinsic semiconductor which is obtained by heating, and number two, extrinsic semiconductor which is obtained by doping impurity substance or foreign substance small amount. So this is by doping and this is by heating. Again, extrinsic semiconductor is kind of two types, N type, okay, and P type semiconductor. So N type, pentavalent impurity, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony. P type, trivalent impurity, gallium, boron, indium and aluminium. So this is the classification of semiconductor. So classification of semiconductor: intrinsic semiconductor and extrinsic semiconductor. Intrinsic semiconductor which is obtained by heating, okay, and you know pure crystal of silicon germanium acts as a intrinsic semiconductor or insulator at 0 Kelvin. So pure crystal of silicon germanium acts as an insulator at 0 Kelvin. If you, why? Because silicon atom is attached to adjacent 4 silicon atom by normal covalent bond, 2 electrons. So at 0 Kelvin it acts as an insulator. But when temperature increases, what will happen? We get intrinsic semiconductor. One of the 4 covalent bonds gets broken and electron moves and creating a holes, and it is so on. So electron moves opposite directions of the hole. So that's why the intrinsic semiconductor also shows conductivity. So again, semiconductor which is obtained by heating, that is called intrinsic semiconductor, pure form of silicon germanium. Again, you know pure crystal of silicon and germanium acts as a insulator at 0 Kelvin. Why? At this low temperature, what will happen is silicon or germanium atom is coordinated with connected or bonded with 4 adjacent silicon atom or germanium atom by normal 4 covalent bonds. So at this low temperature it is impossible to rupture this bond. When temperature increases, so one of the 4 covalent bond gets broken or ruptured, what will happen? We get an electron pair, so electron moves and creating a holes. Okay, so in this way it shows conductivity. An extrinsic semiconductor which is obtained by doping impurity substance very small amount. In case of N type, your doping agent is pentavalent impurity, group 15, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony. In case of P type, trivalent impurity, gallium, boron, indium, aluminium. So this is semiconductor classifications. This is the energy band. This is the difference of insulator, conductor, semiconductor with respect to conductivity, and this is the insulator and semiconductor in terms of conduction band and valence band. Now the intrinsic semiconductor, extrinsic semiconductor difference. Semiconductor in pure form is called intrinsic semiconductor. Semiconductor in pure form is called intrinsic semiconductor. Semiconductor which are doped with impurity is called extrinsic semiconductor. Here the charge carrier are produced only due to thermal agitations. Here the charge carriers are produced due to the impurities and may also be produced due to thermal agitations. They have low electrical conductivity, they have high electrical conductivity. Okay, they have low operating temperature, they have high operating temperature. At 0 Kelvin, Fermi level exactly lies between the conduction band and valence band. At 0 Kelvin, Fermi level exactly lies closer to conduction band in N-type semiconductor and lies near the valence band in P-type semiconductor. So this is the very important. At 0 Kelvin, Fermi level exactly lies between conduction band and valence band. At 0 Kelvin, Fermi level exactly lies close to the conduction band in N-type semiconductor and lies near the valence band in P-type semiconductor. Example, silicon germanium. Example, silicon and germanium doped with aluminum, indium, phosphorus, arsenic. So this is the intrinsic semiconductor and extrinsic semiconductor. Okay. Again, energy band diagram of intrinsic semiconductor at 0 Kelvin. This one the 0 Kelvin, and this is the above 0 Kelvin temperature. So B is above 0 Kelvin temperature, and this is the below 0 Kelvin at 0 Kelvin temperature. What will happen? This is the valence band. Electron. There are so many electrons present in the valence band. Now, due to the large energy gap, forbidden energy gap at 0 Kelvin temperatures, these electrons cannot jump from valence band to conduction bands. So that's why they are acts as an insulator at 0 Kelvin, as I told you in the earlier slide. Now, when the temperature increases, what will happen? When temperature increases, here what will happen? So electron can jump because there are electrons and also hole. Why? Because one of the 4 covalent bond gets broken, and due to the presence of 3 electron now moves and creating a holes. So that's why here conduction, okay, the electron conducted. This is the thermal excitations. So in this way, intrinsic semiconductor acts as an insulator at 0 Kelvin, and it also shows conductivity at above 0 Kelvin temperature, as I told you. Okay. So again I tell you, this is the intrinsic semiconductor at 0 Kelvin. Due to large energy gap, forbidden energy gap, this electron cannot jump from valence band to conduction band. But with rising temperature, what will happen? We get intrinsic semiconductor, and one of the 4 covalent bond gets broken. So there is a free electrons. So now the free electron moves and creating a phase hole, and thereby so on process. And these electrons now, due to thermal excitation, increase of temperature, moves or jump from valence band to conduction band, and in this way they show the conductivity. Now, intrinsic semiconductor is a pure semiconductor. As I told you, the energy gap in silicon is 1.1 electron volt and germanium 0.7 volt. Silicon, as you know, it is a group. Silicon is a group 14, carbon, silicon, germanium. So this is the atomic number 14 and 32. In intrinsic semiconductor, the number of thermally generated electrons always equals to number of holes. So number of thermally generated electron equals to number of holes. This is very important. Okay. So number of thermally generated electrons always equal to the number of holes. If Ni and Pi are the concentration of electrons and holes respectively, then Ni equals to Pi. The quantity of Ni and Pi is referred to as an intrinsic carrier concentrations. Now, doping a semiconductor. Doping is the process of deliberate additions of very small amount of impurity into an intrinsic semiconductor. Okay. The impurity atoms are called dopants. A semiconductor containing impurity is known as impure or extrinsic semiconductor. Now, question will arise: how do you dope in the pure crystal of silicon or germanium? Heating the crystal in the presence of dopant atoms, adding the impurity atoms in the molten state of semiconductor, and bombarding semiconductor by ions or impurity atoms. So, method of doping: heating the crystals in the presence of dopant atom, adding impurity atoms in the molten state of semiconductor, bombarding semiconductor by ions of impurity atoms. Okay, so this is the method of doping. So method of doping: heating the crystals, number one, adding impurity atoms in molten state of semiconductor, and bombarding semiconductor by ions of impurity atoms. Now come to n-type semiconductor. When a pure semiconductor of silicon and germanium tetravalent is doped with a group 15 pentavalent impurities like arsenic, phosphorus, antimony, etc., we obtain n-type semiconductor. The pentavalent impurity atom possesses an extra electron that is known as donor atoms. It is called n-type because the conduction of electricity in such semiconductor it is due to presence of free electrons, that is negative charges. It is called donor type semiconductor because the doped impurity atom possesses an extra electron, resulting conduction in n-type semiconductor. In n-type semiconductor, the electrons are majority carrier. So what will happen in n-type semiconductor? The pure crystal of silicon or germanium. So pure crystal of silicon and germanium, if you doped phosphorus is group 15 element and silicon is group 14 element. Silicon has 4 valence electrons, phosphorus has 5 valence electrons. So each phosphorus atom is use its 4 valence electron to form 4 covalent bonds with adjacent 4 silicon atoms. After that, each phosphorus atom possesses an extra electron. Okay, so that extra electron is the charge carrier, majority of the charge carrier, because these electrons, free electrons, due to the presence of fifth electron, which is fifth electron residing on phosphorus or arsenic or antimony in case of n-type semiconductor. So when small amount of phosphorus or arsenic is doped with pure crystal of silicon or germanium, then silicon or germanium are replaced by phosphorus. Okay, now phosphorus uses its 4 valence electron with adjacent 4 silicon atoms, and thereby it possesses extra fifth electrons on it. These free electrons acts as a majority charge carrier. So again, when a pure semiconductor of the silicon or germanium is doped with group 15 pentavalent impurities like arsenic, phosphorus, antimony, we obtain an n-type semiconductor. Okay, the pentavalent impurity atoms possess an extra electron because pentavalence is 5 valence electron. Okay, doped with silicon crystal having 4th valence electrons. So now phosphorus uses 4th valence electron, that's just 4 silicon atom to form 4 covalent bonds. After that, it possesses an extra electron. So it is called n-type because the conduction of electricity in such semiconductor is due to presence of free electron, that is negative charges. It is called donor type semiconductor because the doped impurity atom possesses an extra electron, resulting conduction in n-type semiconductor. So in n-type semiconductor, the electrons are majority carriers. So due to the presence of free electrons, okay, so these electrons can go to easily from valence band to conduction band and shows conductivity. Again, an n-type semiconductor, why n means negative? Negative means due to the presence of free electron on phosphorus or arsenic or antimony atoms. Okay, this is the 5th valence electrons. So doping agent is pentavalent. Okay, and this doping agent is doped with the tetravalent pure crystal of silicon or germanium. So n-type semiconductor is obtained by doping small amount of pentavalent, that is phosphorus, arsenic, antimony. So MCQ question will come. N-type semiconductor is obtained by, you have a 4 option: phosphorus, boron, carbon, and oxygen, etc. Okay, so this is the n-type semiconductor. Now in n-type semiconductor, an extra energy level called donor energy level. Okay, you see energy band diagram. This is the valence band, this is the conduction band, this is the donor level. Okay, how in n-type semiconductor an extra energy level called donor energy level, so this is called donor energy level, is produced just below the bottom of the conduction band. Okay, so in n-type semiconductor an extra energy level called donor energy level is produced just below the bottom of the conduction band. Just this is the conduction band, this is the donor energy level. Okay, while in the p-type p-type semiconductor, this extra energy band called accepted energy level is just above the top of the valence band. So here in case of p-type it will be the top of the valence band, top of the valence band, this one. Okay, now so this is the n-type semiconductor. You see this is the free electron, that is free valence electron, so pentavalent impurity atoms. Okay, so arsenic uses one valence electron to form this covalent bond, another this covalent bond, this covalent bond, this. So already 4 electron has been used. Now 5th electron is unused, which is residing on the arsenic atom. Okay, so this is the n-type semiconductor. And in case of n-type semiconductor, the extra energy level, that is called donor energy level, is produced just below the bottom of the conduction band. Okay, but in case of p-type semiconductor, this extra energy band called accepted energy level is just above the top of the valence band. So here top of the valence band, which is not shown here. Okay, so this is the only for n-type semiconductor. Now in n-type semiconductor, most of the electron come from donor impurity, while p-type semiconductor, the density of the hole in the valence band is predominantly due to the impurity in the extrinsic semiconductor. So at absolute zero temperature, conductivities of both type of semiconductor will be zero. So forget it, just keep in mind the extra energy level, that is donor energy level, is formed or produced just below the conduction band, and extra energy band in case of p-type just above the top of the valence band. Okay, which is not shown here. So that is called accept energy level in case of p-type, accept energy just above the this valence band, accept energy level. In case of n-type, this is the donor energy level just below the conduction band. Now p-type semiconductor, when a pure semiconductor of silicon or germanium, when a pure semiconductor of silicon or germanium tetravalent is doped with group 3, that is group 13 trivalent impurities like aluminium, boron, gallium, indium, etc., we obtain a p-type semiconductor. The electricity in such semiconductor is due to, or conductivity in such semiconductor is due to motion of holes. The trivalent of atoms are known as acceptor atoms. So again I tell you, when a pure semiconductor of silicon or germanium is doped with group 13 trivalent impurities like aluminium, boron, indium, we obtain p-type semiconductor. The trivalent impurity atoms are known as acceptor atoms. It is called p-type because the conduction of electricity in such semiconductor is due to motion of holes, that is positive charge. It is called acceptor type semiconductor because the doped impurity atoms creates a hole in semiconductor which accepts the electrons. The doped impurity atom creates a hole in semiconductor which accepts the electrons, resulting conduction in p-type semiconductor. In p-type semiconductor, holes are majority carrier and electrons are minority carriers. So again I tell you what will happen in p-type semiconductor. P-type means doped by trivalent, that is having valence electron 3, but the pure crystal of silicon germanium possesses 4 valence electrons. So boron or aluminium first uses 3 valence electron to form a 3 covalent bond with adjacent 3 silicon or germanium, and remaining the bond 1 electron bond with another silicon atom or germanium atom, which is shown in the next slide. So when a pure semiconductor of silicon or germanium is doped with group 13 trivalent impurities like aluminium, boron, indium. We obtain p-type semiconductor. The trivalent impurities atoms are known as acceptor atoms. It is called p-type because conduction of electricity in such semiconductor is due to motion of holes, that is positive charge. It is called acceptor type of semiconductor because the doped impurity atoms creates a hole in semiconductor which accept the electrons, resulting the conduction in p-type semiconductor. Okay, so in p-type semiconductor, holes are majority carriers, electrons are minority carriers. Now come to the p-type semiconductor. You see that this is the pure crystal of silicon, 4 valence electrons, boron, 3 valence electrons. Now adding boron to pure silicon crystal results in the lack of an electron. It becomes a hole. How will happen? If you see boron uses 1 electron to form covalent bond with that silicon atom. Here boron uses 1 electron to form covalent bond with this silicon atom. So these 2 electron means 1 from boron, 1 from silicon. Okay, and this is also 1 from boron, 1 from silicon. So this boron uses 3 valence electron with 3 adjacent silicon atoms. This is the adjacent silicon atoms to form covalent bonds. Now this is the hole. This is the 1 electron bond. This is the hole of boron with silicon. Okay. Now if you see, look here, aluminium. This is the aluminium, silicon, silicon. Okay. Now aluminium or boron, it is a 3 valence electron. 1, 2, 3. These 3 valence electrons are used to form 3 covalent bond with adjacent 3 silicon atoms. So complete covalent bond. This is the 1, 2, 3 complete covalent bond. Now come to here. Incomplete covalent bond, 1 electron bond. Presence of hole. The hole generated here beside the aluminium. So this is the p-type semiconductor. Okay. Now come to here. As I told you already in the previous slide, extra electron energy level. In case of n-type semiconductor, the Fermi level, which is called Fermi level, so extra electron energy or donor energy level produced just below the conduction band, and extra hole energy levels are produced just above the valence band, extra hole energy levels. This is also Fermi level. Okay, this is very important. As I told you, n-type, p-type semiconductor. In case of n-type semiconductor, this is the Fermi level, extra electron energy levels, donor energy levels are produced just below the conduction band. But in case of p-type semiconductor, what will happen? The extra hole energy levels are produced just above the conduction band. Okay, this is called extra hole energy levels. So just above the valence band we get hole energy, extra hole energy levels, and just below the conduction band the extra electron energy level or donor energy levels. So this is for n-type, this is for p-type semiconductor. Okay. Now again I tell you, it's very important. So in case of n-type, p-type, n-type semiconductor, in between conduction band and valence band, what will happen? There is a donor energy level or extra energy level which is produced just below the conduction band or at the, this is the Fermi level. Now in case of p-type semiconductor, extra hole energy levels are produced just above the valence band. Okay. So now come to n-type and p-type semiconductor. Okay. So it is a donor type. N-type semiconductor, it is a donor type, donor energy level. Okay, it is acceptor type. Impurity atom is pentavalent, impurity atom is trivalent. Donor level lies close to the bottom of the conduction band, Acceptor level lies close to the top of the valence band or above the valence band. Okay, so this is the continuous pattern. There are so many points in terms of n-type and p-type semiconductor. Before discussing the next points in the next slide. Again I tell you, this is the p-type semiconductor. So here you see boron uses 3 valence electron to form 3 covalent bonds, like aluminum 3 covalent bonds, pure covalent bonds. But this is the 1 electron bond or hole, presence of hole. This is the incomplete covalent bond. Okay, and this is the donor type, this is the acceptor type. Impurity atom is pentavalent, impurity atom is trivalent. Donor level lies close to the bottom of the conduction band, and acceptor level lies close to the top of the valence band. Now n-type semiconductor, it is an extrinsic semiconductor which is obtained by doping the impurity pentavalent impurity atoms such as antimony, phosphorus, arsenic. But p-type, it is an extrinsic semiconductor. Both are extrinsic semiconductor, because extrinsic semiconductor getting by adding doping agent, which is obtained by doping trivalent impurity atoms such as boron, gallium, indium to the pure crystal of silicon or germanium. The impurity atoms added provided extra electrons in the structure are called donor atoms. The impurity atoms added create vacancy of electron, that is holes, in the structure and are called acceptor atoms. So hole of the acceptor atoms just above the top of the valence band. The electrons are majority charge carriers, the holes are minority charge carriers. Here holes are majority charge carriers and electrons are minority carriers. Electron here in case of n-type, because fifth electron which is unused residing on phosphorus, arsenic, antimony. So these electrons are majority charge carrier and holes are minority charge carrier. These holes are majority charge carriers and electrons are minority carriers. Okay, so this is the n-type p-type semiconductor basically difference. Okay, now application of n-type and p-type semiconductor. Diode is a combination of n-type and p-type semiconductors and is used as a rectifier. All of you know this is the application of n-type and p-type semiconductor, which is given details in your code, that is electrical energy stream. So diode is the combination electrical, both electrical electronics. You go through this portion details. Okay, so diode is a combination of n-type and p-type semiconductor and is used as a rectifier. NPN and PNP type of transistor. So NPN and PNP type of transistor are used to detect or amplify radio or audio signals. So NPN and PNP type of transistor are used to detect or amplify radio or audio signals. The solar cell is an efficient photodiode. The solar cell is an efficient photodiode used for conversion of light energy into electrical energy. So solar cell is an efficient photodiode used for conversion of light energy into electrical energy. So again I tell you the application of n-type p-type semiconductor. Diode is a combination of n-type p-type semiconductors and used as a rectifier. NPN and PNP type of transistor are used to detect or amplify radio or audio signals, and solar cell is an efficient photodiode used for conversion of light energy into electrical energy. So this is the band structure of solids and also the doping of solid, doping of foreign substance and heating. So again I recapture. So first of all, you know the conductor, insulator, semiconductors. Then semiconductor kind of two types: intrinsic semiconductor, extrinsic semiconductor. Intrinsic semiconductor by heating, extrinsic by doping foreign substance. N-type p-type, n-type dope pentavalent, and p-type doped by trivalent. Okay, and there is a two energy donor energy level just bottom of the conduction bands in case of n-type, and just above the valence band. What will happen? You get the whole energy acceptor, okay, level. So in this way the electron can transfer, okay, from valence band to conduction bands, and this shows their conductivity. Okay, so I have finished n-type p-type semiconductors. conductors, semiconductors, insulators, intrinsic, extrinsic semiconductors with examples, and also the in terms of conductivity difference between insulators, conductors and semiconductors. Okay, so I hope you are enjoying this video. Thanks for watching this video.